to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, the world leader in advanced spine surgery, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati Spine Procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD.
Today we'll inform you of the incredible success Dr. Bonati and the Bonati Spine Institute have achieved for over 30 years and over 45,000 procedures for patients that were living with back and neck pain, and have a discussion on the state of the medical crisis that's happening in our country today, better known as Obamacare. Dr. Bonati advanced medicine to a new level, allowing many pain sufferers to achieve results on treatments pioneered while advancing the field of knee, shoulder, wrist, ankle, and other joint ailments using arthroscopy. Dr. Bonati is credited with patenting and perfecting the field of minimally invasive laser spine surgery called the Bonati Spine Procedures. We'd like to start today's program with a conversation I had with Dr. Bonati to discuss his patented Bonati Spine Procedures and the world-renowned Bonati Spine Institute. Now, Dr. Bonati, a lot of facilities, and I have to preface this by saying, you started what's called minimally invasive laser spine surgery. Now, I know nowadays you typically shy away from promoting that because some other imitators out there kind of blur the issue, but it was invasive open back surgery and then your patented Bonati Spine Procedures that were able to exactly pinpoint and get to the root of people's pain. Why don't you describe some of your surgeries and what really sets you apart nowadays from anyone else on the market?
I remember how the name of minimally invasive came. I was in Switzerland in a conference, and I present a procedure, and was a procedure that was presented in a videotape. And this was a presentation to physicians. And one of the physicians came and said, "What is this surgery?" We're talking about 1982, 83. Nobody knew about invasive, minimally invasive. Those names came on the 90s. But this man came over, this doctor came over and said to me, "What is this procedure?" And I say, "It's a procedure where you have a small incision." And this physician said, "Oh, this is minimalized procedure." And I go and I say, "Yeah." And then we discuss more the fact that we were zeroing in one level at a time. And then he said, well, not the same person, but in the conversation with 200 physicians in the room, somebody else said, the invasion to the tissues are very much reduced. That's how the name was created. So suddenly we talk about the minimally invasive procedures. And that's how the name was created. I was dumb enough that I didn't get the name and patent it. But time went by, people started to use it more. In the beginning, 20 years ago, once we did this procedure, I remember that the results were far better, but the amount of problems that we attack were less than what you can do with open surgery. So we start with procedures saying, you can do this procedure, if it doesn't help you, then we can go to open surgery. Today is totally different. The procedure can solve everything that the open surgery cannot.
Dr. Bonati, why don't you try to describe for everyone the age group of people that you see, any certain pathologies that stick out to you as far as conditions these people suffer from? What are some of the areas and problems that you treat at the facility?
Well, when we evolved this procedure, initially we did what they call discectomy. The discectomy goes, as the name is saying, to the disc. It's one of the most preferential the most frequent pathologies on spine surgery is a herniated disc. And a herniated disc has a bulging component, or has a full herniation, or has an extruded fragment. But all these things we attack inside of the disc. When we did that, it's only 17 to 20% of population who has that problem. So we look and we say we are failing because we are offering for this small group this procedure, but still we need to do the big surgery for the rest of the other procedures. So I start to change the direction of where to put the tubes to be able to accomplish what I want. And what I want to accomplish is one of the most effective, solutions that we have today, but one of the more destructive illnesses that the patients have. Spinal stenosis is a very frequent damage on the spine. And the spinal stenosis affect people from 40s and all the way in life till you die.
What is spinal stenosis?
Spinal stenosis is a degeneration of the canals where the neurological structures are located. Can be central and affect the spinal cord, or the dural sac with the corda equina, or can be on the exit of the roots, that is a neuroforamen. The problems on those ones are that they end incapacitating the individual. For example, people that they are extremely healthy, they start with little problems like a little numbness on the foot. Then the numbness on the foot becomes numbness to the ankle. The numbness to the ankle becomes to the middle leg and keep going up. Every time you have an injury to the nerve, you have 4 elements. The first one is pain. Is the patient is like the red light in your dashboard who say you have no oil, you have no oil, you have no oil. But if you ignore it, the car dies. Well, the same thing happened here. You ignore the pain, the next stage is numbness. And then there are areas that they start to become numb, usually the distal parts of the extremities, usually the foot. And these people knows very frequent that they have problems when they go to sleep. As soon as they lie down in the bed, they start to have tickling sensations on their feet, numbness on their feet, or cramps, or situations where they feel like ants all over, and they call restless legs and things like that, and they need to leave their bed and walk a little bit, and they have cramps, they leave the bed and exercise. Well, this situation is in the second stage of spinal stenosis. The third stage is the patient starts to be weak. And you can see people walking on the malls with walkers or with canes, or you can see people that they go home and say, I'm getting old, and then I take the elevator, I don't take the stairs anymore. And what's going on is they don't have strength on the quadriceps or the hamstrings, and they are feeling that they are not secure on their legs, so they walk with caution. They try to avoid going downstairs, they try to avoid going upstairs, long distance walking. You go with a wife to the mall, the wife goes all over and the guy is sitting drinking coffee in a bar. And it's because he cannot walk. So these situations are the third stage. And then from there, they end on a wheelchair. And you can see these demonstrations on television. They say, oh, we give you a free chair, and they show a chair that exercise all over. They don't show how the furniture is going to interfere on those chairs or how the stairs are going to interfere on those chairs, because really it's a commercial thing. But these people who need those wheelchairs, with this procedure can be totally saved. People can walk normally again.
When we come back from a short break, we will speak with a former patient who received treatment at the Bonati Spine Institute, and he'll tell you firsthand how the patented Bonati Spine Procedures helped him.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati Spine Procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati Spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
Welcome back to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute.
The biggest difference is our surgery here, patients are awake. And when I did minimally invasive surgery, patients were asleep. Looking back, those people in whom I didn't have success, the failures probably came from doing an inadequate decompression. When we finish surgeries with Dr. Bonati, he asks us, did the patient move? Did you have them walk? Did you have them wiggle and twist and move in a way to reproduce their pain in the operating room? And the answer is yes, you better have, because that's the way we see if the pain is gone. We want our patients at the presumed conclusion of the surgery to be able to move in a way they couldn't before because it would have caused nerve compression and hence pain. We want them to be able to move in a way so they don't have pain. And that's a very happy end to surgery. That's probably the single biggest difference between us and other places. Attention to detail and insistence on following through.
Well, the unique thing about our anesthesia, it's awake but sedated. Now, a lot of people say, you're going to work on my spine and I'm going to be awake. And yeah, that's true. You're going to be awake but sedated. The reason is you don't need general anesthesia. The procedures simply don't hurt that much. We use small amounts of Valium, morphine, and pentothal-like drugs. And we can make you comfortable and throughout the surgery be able to talk to us. Really be honest with you, at the end, we ask you, when we think we're done, we ask you if your pain's gone, and you're supposed to say, yes, it's gone. And if it's not, then we're not done.
You feel better, am I right, Darren? Yes.
And the only way you can say that is if you're awake enough to be able to feel your pain. Your pain is expected to be gone at the end of the surgery. Whatever pain you came in with, you limped in here, you wobbled in, you came in a wheelchair, whatever, when you lay on that table and we do surgery, we expect your pain to be gone at the end. And you've got to be able to verbalize that to us.
I always believe that the cause of the problem on the spine surgery is very much misunderstood. So with a lot of experience and a large amount of knowledge from the patients to the doctor, because as you see, the patient communicate to us.
How about now?
How about now? Better.
So you start to learn what are the things that really are important. And then suddenly you start to create your own type of a surgery because it's based on relationship with communication with the patient and your knowledge in medicine.
This is Dr. Bonati.
Is the back pain gone now?
That type of information is so unique, is so different that the information that usually is being done in any other type of a surgery, that the individuals that they participate in this type of surgery, they have almost 97% good results. So the results is based on communication between the patient and the doctor and the medical neurological knowledge.
It's easy as an anesthesiologist to put somebody on general anesthesia and you put an endotracheal tube, a breathing tube in them and turn on the gas and you can kind of go to sleep. Well, that's not the case here. This is it's a difficult anesthesia because, as I say, you kind of serve two masters. I've got the surgeon that's telling me, don't make them fall asleep because I want their input. And I've got the patient that says to me, I want to be absolutely asleep. And after I explain to the patient the reason why that we want you awake, I still have to make them happy. And when they leave here, I want them to say, gosh, I made it. It wasn't that bad after all.
Back pain is, the nerve has different areas. So each area is specific for specific pain. At the area of the exit of the nerve from the spinal cord, that nerve really is the area that hurts on the back. So any compression of the nerve in that area, the patient complains of back pain or neck pain. If you have more further compression, the other elements of the nerve start to appear. For example, if you go larger, compression will start to affect the shoulder, the arm, the forearm, the hand. And each nerve goes in a specific area. So when the patient talks to you and you are operating in a specific area and you know the nerve that you are operating on, if you touch that, the patient will tell you, my thumb hurts, or my arm hurts, or my shoulder hurts. So when you are very close to the root of the nerve, the patient will say to you, my neck is hurting, or my back is hurting. And if they are a little bit more farther, the patient will say, my hip is hurting, or my shoulder is hurting. So you know specifically which area you are touching. The beauty of the communication is when the patient said to you, that's the area that I'm hurting for so long. So now you need to concentrate your knowledge in that area. Look why that area hurts, and then clean that area in certain way that the nerve has not any more pressures. As you saw in this case, the patient was referring to us that the pain was bothering him on the thumb.
Use your thumb. Squeeze with your thumb. There you go. Okay, just that.
And then after we cleaned the area, the pain disappeared. And in the process, he said, now it's tingling. And then we clean a little bit more, and then he said, pain is gone.
You feel better, am I right, Darren?
Yes. So that communication is gold. That is something like you don't have in any other type of surgery. That's the beauty of this procedure.
Now we'll see a patient testimonial from the Bonati Spine Institute in our Back to Life segment.
My name is Kid Kreider. I had a car accident about 27 years ago that started multiple back surgeries the old-fashioned way. I didn't know about the Bonati Clinic. I got down where I got so bad that I couldn't walk. A friend of mine recommended me here. I came here, they did 4 procedures on me, on my lower back, L5, S1, L4, 5, both sides. I just had my last one, and the results have been phenomenal. The people here have been phenomenal. The nicest people I've ever met at any medical facility in my life. They've given me a second chance on life. I can't really believe it. I'm so excited that I actually get to go home and not be in pain anymore. I would not recommend going anywhere but here. He knows what he's doing, Dr. Bonati. You can trust him. He is the nicest man you ever want to meet as a doctor also. He really, really cares. And that means so much to a patient. And all I do is say thank you to the whole staff. Y'all have been fantastic. I don't know what to say.
Patients usually, they have an experience of problems for a long time. Usually nobody goes to surgery unless they are committed to be treated. And before they commit to a treatment, they really need to have a little miserable life. So when the patient comes over here, they expect that we are going to remove the pain. They expect that they're going to have some limitations or something is not going to work totally for them. But that is not what happened with this surgery. This surgery, fortunately, we developed something that can return the patient to a total normality. It's incredible to see the results that we can accomplish. I had a case yesterday that the patient had a compression fracture and a piece of bone was stuck on the spinal cord. The patient was almost paralyzed and for years was in a wheelchair. We fixed that thing, we removed the pressure of the bone, we cleaned the areas of the nerves, and this patient is today walking. So this type of a surgery is unheard. So when you go and you explain that this is what we are doing and this is the situation on the result of these patients, the majority of the individuals that they practice in spine surgery, they just don't believe it. And it's taken me 20 years to educate the world that this is the way to treat the spine. Still is a lot of resistance, and but we're getting there. And if you will look that around 10 years ago, you would look at the internet or individuals that are being treated on the spine, everything was open surgery. If you look today at the individuals that they are being treated on the spine, a lot of people are being treated with quote unquote minimal invasive. The problem is that minimal invasive is probably in a development stage. A lot of these individuals don't really understand yet how these procedures should perform. So they are doing superficial procedures that I did 25 years ago. And the problem with that is they can give bad name to minimally invasive surgery. So that's why our techniques are being called the Bonati procedures, so they don't confuse what we do with somebody who is starting to learn these procedures, or otherwise they don't really understand the procedures. So with this type of a procedure, we can return the patient practically totally normal to a normal life.
Yeah, the fun thing about working here is our patients all get better. When you deal in pain management, which is my specialty here, mainly I'm in, patients a lot of times are on narcotics all their life, they're on pumps, they're on stimulators. We don't get that. Our patients, when they come here a lot of times on heavy duty drugs, and when they leave, they're off those. Or if they come here on a pain pump, by the time that they're done here, the pain pump's turned off. So, you see a patient, and I said this a million times, they have a frown on their face, a furrowed brow when they come in, and when they leave, they've totally done a personality change. You see them smiling because they're walking and they're without pain. And it's an incredible thing. It's just a luxury to have that as a physician and to experience that every day. I'm so lucky to have that.
When they come here, they've been in pain for decades. Not for weeks and months and years, but decades. They have not been able to participate in life. I guess I feel their pain. So when they have a relief from the pain and they're able to walk, they're able to lift up their grandchildren, they're able to return to school, they're able to get back to work, to being productive, then you're talking about making a tremendous life change and impact on someone's life.
Well, obviously, to be here 28 years, you got to feel really good about what you do. You got to feel happy to go into work. I mean, work is not really work. Work is almost home for me. The patient results are incredible, and it makes working so much easier.
Every time that I walk in the operating room, when I am scrubbing my hands, I always thank God for the opportunity to do this. And it's very unique, that feeling. And you need to appreciate it. The same like the patient. When you're doing this surgery, the patient appreciates that. And it's amazing how easy the word God comes in their minds.
All my pain is gone, gone, gone.
Today I am totally pain-free. Nothing, no after effect.
I'm pain-free, and I have had to take any pain medication.
Today I am pain-free for the first time in over a year, and it is so awesome.
I only wish I'd known about it earlier. Right now, I am completely without pain.
Sitting here in this office right now, pain-free, eager to enjoy the rest of my life.
I am feeling great.
I feel 100% better, like a new person.
Today I feel absolutely fantastic. It's just incredible. the relief I feel right now.
Today I'm completely pain-free.
During the procedure, I literally felt the pain melt away. It was fantastic.
I feel so good.
It took care of my headaches instantly.
It's incredible. It's really incredible.
It gave me my life back.
It's just wonderful. I feel fantastic.
It is just absolutely amazing.
So I'm hoping to be climbing hills in a few weeks.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati Spine Procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati Spine Procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
Welcome back to our final segment of American Medicine Today, featuring Alfred Bonati, MD.
So Dr. Bonati, why did you produce American Medicine Today? What are you hoping that the viewers or listeners take away from the show?
I want to get the viewer to help me to change the irresponsible politicians, the irresponsible insurance, the physicians to wake up and be doctors who serve the patients, and instead to be all the time thinking, I need to do the proper work for the government so they can pay me X amount of dollars, instead to be running behind Medicare irresponsibilities or Medicaid irresponsibilities, or now the wonderful Obamacare, that is the most, how do they call? What they call?
Supposedly the Affordable Health Care Act.
The Affordable Care Act. Isn't that a funny thing? Is the less affordable? Is the Unaffordable Scare Act?
Scare Act, I like that.
No, it's a Scare Act. It's not Care Act.
Right.
So
why should anyone listening back what you're saying? Why do they need to participate?
Because I really think that people will wake up. When you start to see your wife sick and you cannot offer the proper care, or your child that needs to go to the hospital and he cannot go, or when you break a leg and you need to get a piece of wood and put it around your leg and put some wires because no doctor's going to see you, then you're going to see how you wake up. So let's wake up now that we can control.
Thank you for watching American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute. Please look in your local listings for our next regularly scheduled program. To hear more from Dr. Alfred Bonati and American Medicine Today, tune into News Radio 970 WFLA, Saturdays at noon.